Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Thank you all for hopping aboard with me for another video. In this one, we have a Maryland man pulling out a gun and pointing it at a couple who were apparently taking selfies. And maybe he didn't like them being a couple, or maybe they put him in the video or the picture or something. I don't know. Let's watch it and find out. This is a reaction. While I pull in the video, do me a few favors, hit that like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. We are on our way to our first 1,000 subscribers. Thank y'all so much for hopping aboard and riding with me. All right, let me make sure I hit the like. And this is coming from Law and Crime Network on YouTube. Shout out to them. Blow that up, headphones on, and let's ride.
A Maryland man is arrested for allegedly pointing a gun at a couple after they took selfies. We hear the full story from Danielle White, the 27-year-old who was held at gunpoint for seemingly just snapping a picture. Welcome to After Hours, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Sam Goldberg. So that was 27-year-old Danielle White and her boyfriend Walter. It was a Sunday afternoon around 4 p.m. in Maryland. Danielle and Walt were taking Snapchat photos of themselves during an outing to a local market. That's when 38-year-old Timothy Davis suddenly confronts the couple. The escalation didn't end there, as Davis decided to follow the pair into the parking lot. Davis then pulls a gun on them.
Hey!
Davis was arrested and charged with first and second degree assault, disorderly conduct, firearm use, and reckless endangerment. So joining us now is Danielle White, the Maryland woman who was held at gunpoint and recorded that video. Danielle, thanks so much for coming on.
If you could just take me through what happened.
So we went to Kenny's Market because they have the best chicken. I'm not going to lie about that. Their chicken's good.
What are we talking here? Rotisserie,
So we're
pulled
fried chicken.
sandwiches?
So no, just fried chicken on the bone. They're so good. But we were waiting in line, and I was being a goofball and wanted to take pictures of me and my boyfriend, like selfies and like the weird filters that distort your face. And so I noticed this guy was staring, and I kind of just stared back at him, kind of ignored him. When he got done buying whatever he had to buy, he bought I think 2 cases of water. We walked up and he said, "Were you taking pictures of me?" Kind of attitude. I said, "No," just like that. My boyfriend kind of de-escalated it and was like, "No, dude, we were taking a Snapchat filter picture. It's all good." And then he got smart. And I said, if I wanted to take a picture, I would just show it to you. Like it's not that hard. There's nothing illegal about taking a picture of somebody in public.
This is true. All right. That's a big misconception that a lot of people have. They believe that if you take a picture of them in public, that it's illegal. It's not illegal to take a picture of someone in public. All right. Now there are certain types of pictures that you can't take, when it comes to, people that are in compromising positions and that type of thing, right? Or if it's children, stuff like that. The law, I guess from state to state will vary, but generally speaking, you can take pictures of people in public and it's not illegal.
We were just taking selfies. He got very mad and called me an effing B, which was lovely. I walked out of Kenny's and I said, that's a real tough guy move to call somebody, the B word, a female at that. So my boyfriend followed me out. When we started walking to the truck, he started running his mouth about God knows what. Then when we walked to the truck, I did take a picture of him because he was saying a bunch of stuff. He was threatening us. So that's when I pressed record. Right after I took that picture, I pressed record. And that is when he came up. He pointed the gun at my boyfriend's chest, and I kind of sidestepped a little bit because it scared me. I sidestepped towards the gun because I didn't want him to do anything to him. So then that's when I yelled, "Hey," in the video, and he pointed at me into my face, grabbed my arm, and then that's when the video kind of cut because we kind of wrestled a little bit to try to get him off my arm. So it was interesting. It was
Did
traumatic,
you
but it's interesting.
did you think he was gonna shoot you?
I did. At first, I thought he was going to shoot Walt, which is my boyfriend. That's his kind of his nickname. I thought he was going to shoot Walt at first because that's when he pointed the gun at Walt first. But in the video, you can see that he had trigger control, which means that his finger was off the trigger on the side. I didn't know that at the time. I just seen a barrel on my face. So, I mean, it was a possibility that, yeah, he could have shot me. And the gun looked like a big gun. It looked like a 45, which could do a lot of damage.
You said he was saying threats to you, I guess before he pulled
Yes.
the gun and in the store. What did he say to you?
So he started threatening us outside of the store, just saying how he was going to beat my boyfriend and me up. My boyfriend is 6'7". I'm 6 feet. That didn't really scare us. They're just words.
Man, he's 6'7" and she's 6 feet tall. The guy that pulled the gun out on them and approached them in the parking lot, he's probably like 5'7". I mean, he looks like he's about 5'7", 5'8", something like that. Uh, the guy is just he's something's wrong. He gives me vibes of those individuals. And y'all remember Kyle Rittenhouse, right? In whatever that town was in Wisconsin. He was defending himself against some scum of the earth individuals. And those scum of the earth individuals, one of those people was this guy, last name Rosenbaum, but he was a child predator. And he, was attacking Kyle, and Kyle defended himself and took that guy out of here, and he's no longer here to bother any more children. Thankfully, right? This guy right here in this video, man, he reminds me of that guy, that Rosenbaum guy. Like he really, he gives me that vibe. This guy right here, he reminds me of Rosenbaum. I see similarities. All right, I see similarities in this guy and Rosenbaum. Anyway, hey, never follow anybody to a parking lot. Like if you're in a store or in some type of business and you have an issue and that person leaves and goes in the park, don't follow them to the parking lot. Don't do that because some bad things could happen as a result. All right. Let's leave it at that. But let's keep going and see what more they have to say about this.
They're just words.
Knock, knock. Hi there. I'd love to show you what a K-12 powered school is.
The gun did. He had a concealed carry permit, which is very shocking, being at the fact that he pulled it out of his waistband. There was no holster, and being at the fact that he pulled it out because of him thinking somebody took a picture of him, which is ridiculous.
Did you think he accused you
Okay. All right. A couple things. Permit. He has a permit, so that's good. Good there. He's good there. Right. He's doing things legally in his state. All right. I'm in Alabama. We have a permitless carry, so we can conceal carry with no permit, as long as you're of age and not a felon and that type of thing. Um. So I mean, don't look like he's doing anything illegal. I mean, now how he's carrying the gun. I mean, that's really it's a responsibility thing as far as how you want to carry it in a safe way. The guy must have some type of training or common sense with the gun, because he did, when he pulled it out, he had trigger control, like she mentioned. He didn't immediately have his finger on the trigger pointing the gun. So I mean, it's kind of in the eye of the beholder as far as when people want to attack the gun situation. I mean, I think the biggest part of this is the fact that the man had an issue with them, then followed them to the parking lot and pulled the gun out when there wasn't a need for that. He escalated it far beyond where it ever should have been taken. right? That's where we need to be focusing on our attention instead of worrying about, the gun situation and all that. I mean, he was legally carrying it. So other than that, the only issue was the fact that he pulled it out when he didn't need to.
Of taking a picture of him, obviously, to your word, a ridiculous reason to pull a gun on someone. Did you think of showing him
There you go.
your camera roll and being like, "Hey, look, it was a Snapchat"?
Yes. So I told him, and I told him, if I took a picture of you, I would just show it to you. But at the time, I didn't even get a chance to even show him, to prove to him that he was wrong, because he just flipped a lid. He just started going off. So there was no chance of, I mean, we couldn't even de-escalate the situation because he just kept escalating it.
You said he grabbed your arm. Like, what did he do exactly?
So when he pointed the gun at my face, he grabbed my arm. I don't know what the purpose of him grabbing my arm was. Maybe he thought I was going to grab the gun. So maybe he tried to grab my arm. I'm not sure, but that scared me because when you touch somebody and then somebody's got a gun to your face at that, we could have went into a wrestling match and the gun could have went off. So I'm glad that I kind of shook him off of me, and then he sort of calmed down and just walked away. But it was definitely scary. That's for sure.
What'd you think of him being released without bond?
I was pretty upset. Being at the fact that he is a loose cannon, and
Absolutely. Absolutely. He definitely should have not have been let out with no bond.
there was reports because I posted the
Go
video
back.
on Facebook.
Bond.
I was pretty upset. It was definitely scary. That's for sure.
What'd you think of him being released without bond?
I was pretty upset. Being at the fact that he is a loose cannon, and there was reports because I posted the video on Facebook. There was a report that he pointed a gun at somebody else, but they never reported it. Yeah. I mean, it can't be proved, but somebody did say that. I don't know if they wanted attention, but yeah. So there was another report that he pointed a gun at somebody else. He had a concealed carry permit, but probably not anymore. But I'm very upset that they released him. He should not have been released. I have a child. That could have ended up very badly. I could have been hurt or killed. My boyfriend could have been hurt or killed. And also the people in the parking lot could have been hurt or killed. I mean, you don't pull a gun, especially out in public where there's a bunch of people and kids. I'm sure there was kids in that parking lot.
What do you think a proper sentence is for him?
It's hard. It's hard to tell. I do think all gun rights should be pulled from him, and he should get years,
I agree with that.
because this was not a normal situation. This this situation could have turned deadly very fast, and I don't want it to happen to anybody else. Yeah.
And you personally, how are you feeling since this happened?
I mean, I think I'm in shock, but I'm more in shock that he is actually out there just walking. He's not on an ankle monitor. He's just out there walking until the court date, which is very scary.
Danielle, thank you so much for coming on.
Yep. Yep. So as long as what her side of the story is correct, and that's how it happened. They were taking a selfie. The guy lost his mind about them taking a selfie and then followed them in the parking lot, pulled the gun out, pointed it at him, grabbed her arm and all that. If everything happened in that sequence and that in the way that they explained it, and they did nothing as far as like brandishing a weapon at him or anything like that, to provoke the situation, I agree with what she said. The guy's a loose cannon and he should be stripped of his gun rights. And he should have gotten a bond. Um, he shouldn't have been released until pending the investigation or whatever the case. That it. I agree. It is scary. All right, that's that guy. Like I said, he gives me You know that guy, that little piece of crap, Rosenbaum that was attacking Kyle Rittenhouse in Wisconsin, and he got put down like the dog he is. He reminds me of that guy. He just looks, like a guy that's unhinged and just got some type of anger thing going on, right? And apparently maybe he's done this before, from what she said. That's kind of like the rumor. Man, hopefully he gets locked up and does some time behind this and won't be having a gun anymore. All right. But anyway, thank y'all for watching. Drop a comment. Let me know what y'all thought about her and her boyfriend or husband situation.